All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the webinar around SAP ServiceNow integration. We have a lot of things to show. The webinar will be recorded and we can send you the recording after that. If you have any issues with the audio or the video stream, please let me know, enter it in the chat bar so we can possibly address the problem. So let me start with the introduction of myself and company and products. This is myself. I'm Tamás Holics. I'm the CTO at STA Consulting, which is an independent software vendor based in Budapest, Hungary, Central Europe. We are an SAP Silver partner, as well as a ServiceNow partner. Our focus is on building SAP integration solutions. We have out-of-the-box products that we sell, and we also do some custom development projects to integrate SAP and non-SAP systems. We have more than 30 clients on 4 different continents, so it means we don't have any focus on geography or industry. The next slide, you can see some of our clients. So these are the clients who are actually using our SAP integration products. We have about the same number of customers who use other add-ons or we've done custom projects with them. Okay, let's discuss the product portfolio that we have currently. First of all, we have something called the ITSM connector for SAP applications. That's a certified SAP add-on, and that allows creation of tickets in external ticketing tools directly from SAP. In addition to that, we have a ServiceNow app with the same name that's certified by ServiceNow, and that's a complementary component of the first add-on. So that's an optional component. If you install that on the ServiceNow instance, and then you will have some extra features. So these two are working together. And we also have a third application that is called ITSM adapter for SAP Solution Manager. Again, that's a ServiceNow app, and that's completely different. That's used to have a bidirectional synchronization of incidents between ServiceNow and Solution Manager. That's not in scope for this webinar. We'll have a separate webinar on that. As you can see, these products are certified by SAP and by ServiceNow. We are on the store. So here we have the listings. And I think the next important thing is to discuss why we have developed these solutions. There are some typical pain points of SAP support that every single customer faces. Let's start with the most trivial one, the poor quality of incoming tickets. SAP end users very often submit very basic error reports. They don't include which system did they log into, what transaction was running, what documents were they working with, and so on. And then you have to spend a lot of time on getting that information from the end users. Without the basic information, you cannot even reproduce the problem, so you cannot start to work on a solution. Similar to that, you need to manually route and categorize all your incidents based on that limited information that you have from the end user. You have to set the assignment group, the business service, and other fields manually, and very often you make a mistake in categorization because there's not enough information, and then you have to change the subgroup groups and so on. Another typical issue is when you have a high impact problem in SAP that affects 1,000 users, then you might end up with 1,000 phone calls or emails to your service desk. You have to manage all the duplicates manually, and that might take a lot of effort. Problem number 5 is an underutilized knowledge base. Even if you spend a lot of time and money to put together a good knowledge base with SAP related articles, if your end users don't really use it, then it's just a waste of money and effort. And the experience shows that often SAP end users are simply too lazy to navigate to your service portal and look for a solution for their problem. The next one is the training issue. Often beginner SAP users create incidents that are not really incidents. It's just they just don't know how to use the software. They press the wrong button, but still you have to deal with these kind of tickets, and that again takes valuable time. The last one is related to monitoring. if you use SAP monitoring solutions like Focused Run or Solution Manager, then whenever you have an alert, you might need to create incidents in your external ticketing tools manually. SAP provides a standard way to get notifications via email or SMS to, let's say, your basis team, but still they have to log into your ticketing tool and create tickets manually. So these are the most frequent problems. And the solution that we came up with is an SAP add-on certified by SAP that needs to be installed on the backend systems on the SAP application server. And once you do that, you can create tickets automatically in external ticketing tools. There are two major use cases. Either your end users can create tickets, so they're using Fiori App or a classic SAP GUI transaction, and then they press a button and create a ticket from there. Or you can automate the ticket creation for alerts if you use Focused Run or Solution Manager. Additionally, we have a certified ServiceNow app that I mentioned. If you install this on your ServiceNow instance, you will have extra features as well as improved reporting on the ServiceNow side. Let me quickly check if there are any chat messages. Okay, nothing so far, so I suppose you can hear me and see the screen. Excellent. So let's talk about the use cases. The first one is when a company or its service provider uses an external ticketing tool. In this case, ServiceNow. You can install our add-ons on the SAP instances as well on the ServiceNow instance, and then either the end users will be able to create tickets automatically from SAP's screens, or it can be automated if we are talking about alerts. Today, I will show you ServiceNow mostly, but it's important to emphasize that the same add-on works with ServiceNow, Micro Focus, Jira, BMC, Remedy, basically anything that has an API. And these are the out-of-the-box solutions that we provide. Additionally, you can set this up in a way that you can create tickets in multiple ticketing tools from the same system. Let's say in the project phase, you create tickets in Jira, and when everything is live, then you create tickets in ServiceNow, or if you want to do monitoring in Micro Focus, then you can connect that as well. I will show you how that works. Let's talk about the second major use case, where the company or its service provider uses an SAP monitoring tool to monitor the SAP systems, jobs, iDocs, user experience, business processes, or whatever. So Solution Manager, Focused Run can monitor a lot of things. And if there's an alert, our add-on can, again, automatically create a ticket in an external ticketing tool. All right, let's go on with the architecture. On the left, we have an SAP system on which we have installed the SAP add-on. It's important that this is compatible with every ABAP-based system. S/4HANA, ECC, CRM, HCM, whatever, doesn't matter. If an end user runs into an issue and presses a button to start the ticket creation process, fills out basic details on the screen, then the add-on will create a new ticket using the standard REST API of ServiceNow. After that, it gathers a lot of valuable information, generates some attachments, and uploads them to the new incident. If you install our optional scoped application, then the third step is carried out. All the SAP details are sent to that application and are saved to custom ServiceNow tables. And the big benefit of this is that you can use that data in your reporting, dashboards, and of course, you can put any of that on the incident form very easily. For the second use case, there can be another step. If you create tickets in ServiceNow out of Solution Manager or Focused Run alerts, you can confirm them. And also the incidents can close the alerts. So if you resolve an incident, then the corresponding alerts can be closed. If you confirm an alert, then the corresponding incident can be closed. This can be automated and switched on and off in configuration. There are two more important things here. The next one is it's not necessarily an incident that can be created. You can configure the product to create other ticket types as well, like service request. You can create cases in ServiceNow. So for example, if your service provider uses ServiceNow CSM, Customer Service Management, then you can create cases. If you use ServiceNow Event Management for alerting on the ServiceNow side, then our add-on can create events in the ServiceNow Event Management module. And then based on some logic, you can create, the ServiceNow will create alerts and incidents based on those events. And the next thing is that here you have a direct connection between SAP and ServiceNow, but of course, it's possible to have a middleware in between SAP PO or a mid server or a proxy server. So this all depends on the customer requirements. Okay, so let's jump into the systems and do a live demo. Before that, let me check the chat. Okay, you can see me and so on, so that's good. So I will log into this system, which is an ECC system where I execute transaction FB50. So here I want to create a GL account document, but then I get an error message that the posting period is not open. So this will be the example error that I want to submit to the service desk. All I need to do is either double click on the SAP icon at the bottom or go to the help menu and choose create support message. When I press that, our add-on is started, and the first thing that it asks for is a confirmation to take a screenshot. I will allow this because this is not a sensitive HR or finance transaction. And then the main screen appears where I can enter a subject. Long description. And here comes the interesting part. At the bottom, you have fields related to your connected ITSM platform. In this case, it's ServiceNow. This is just a default template with the impact, urgency, severity, and the assignment group. All our customers want to customize this. I will show you some examples of that. It's absolutely possible. You can remove fields that are not necessary here. You can add extra fields that you might want to be populated by the end users. The second important thing here is that the group is populated automatically. We are on a finance transaction, so that's why this incident will end up in the finance team. You can set up rules in either SAP or alternatively in ServiceNow to automatically route the incident to the relevant support group. I will take this checkbox to open the ticket in a browser window once it is created, and I press send. When I press send, the backend SAP component creates the incident in ServiceNow, generates some attachments, uploads everything to that. And because I tick that little checkbox, it will open that in a browser window. By default, this is open via the service portal. So if your end users have access to the ServiceNow portal, they can immediately see a little overview of the ticket. But now, of course, let's jump in here with the service desk user and see what happened. This is the this is the incident that was just created. Let me click on that and let's go through what we have here. You've already seen the first benefit of the product. End users can create tickets pretty easily. The second benefit is the automatic routing and categorization. So you can see that the category is now set to software, subcategory is set to SAP. You can even create a new contact type. It's sent from SAP. You can distinguish incidents that were created based on a phone call or an email from the ones that were created directly from SAP. The open buy and caller fields are set to the SAP end user. Here we have all the user input. Assignment group is set to SAP Finance based on the rules that we defined, based on transaction code in this example. Business services populated automatically. The configuration item is based on the SAP system from which I submitted the ticket. So you have fully automated and 100% accurate routing here and categorization. The next benefit is here. You have different attachments. Obviously, we have the screenshot that was taken when we started the whole process. We have the output of transaction SU53, which is a standard SAP authorization report. In this example, this is going to be empty. In another use case that I will show, this is going to be meaningful. Here we will have all the failed authorization checks for the user. We also have an Excel sheet with all the screen content. Let me check. We have some chat messages here. Okay, that's not around the audio. Of course, we'll have a Q&A section at the end, so I will answer all the questions. In this column, you have all the fields that were displayed on the screen, and the program gathers automatically all the technical data. So if this incident ends up with a developer, then they will know that in this program, this screen, this field, which was the posting date, the value was today's date. You have the company code along with its description, you have the document type with its description, and so on. So everything is provided, and users don't have to type in so much information. They don't have a chance to make a typing mistake, and you also get the technical details as well. All right, finally, we have a PDF file that is generated that contains a header about the affected user and system, all the user input, and now comes the really interesting part. You have all the details of the running program, including the title, transaction, program, screen number, subscreen number, component, package, and so on. You have all the details of the last message class number, type, even the long description from the SAP help is added here. Additionally, after a certain kernel release, you get the exact source code position where this error message was raised. So that's really, really useful for developers. They can directly navigate to that source code where the error happened. We have another section here on the SAP GUI information. This was a GUI for Windows with this version from that laptop and so on. You have all the details of the backend user, including salutation, language key, time zone, everything that you need to get in touch. You have all the details of the SAP system, and this last section contains all the components that are in the system with version information. So the idea is to provide a complete information package with every single incident that is submitted through this add-on. These are the most important attachments. There are different attachments that are attached to specific kind of errors. I will show some examples later on. It's important to mention that whatever you've seen so far is possible with only the SAP add-on, and you don't need the ServiceNow add-on for this. However, if you do install the ServiceNow app from the store, you will get one extra tab sheet here. It's called SAP Technical Details, and for each incident, you will have the same data that you've seen in the Excel sheet and in the PDF file are saved to ServiceNow tables. Here you have the same things: program details, message details, user details, host information, screen field contents, system components, and so on. The big benefit of this is if you really need any of these on the incident form, it's very easy in ServiceNow to put it there. And of course, you can use all this data to create really nice SAP incident dashboards. We actually deliver a default incident dashboard with the ServiceNow app, and that contains some pre-configured reports here. You can check out the number of incidents per system, per priority. You can check the most frequent dialog error messages, incidents per transaction or module, incidents per GUI type. Here you can see that this also works with CRM, Web GUI, or any BSP-based UI, Fiori, Sub GUI, WebDig Pro, and so on. You have separate sheets for background jobs that fail. You have separate sheets for runtime errors, short dumps. And here you have a sheet for our second major use case. So if you use monitoring and alerting and create incidents based on alerts, then this is the reporting part that shows you more information about incidents created for alerts. All right, okay, so let me quickly jump back here. Exit editing. Before doing that, I will log into another system and show you some customization options. So I will go to the central configuration transaction here. We have many configurations with different ticketing tools and so on. And now I will deactivate the default ServiceNow interface, and I scroll up and activate one of our customized interfaces. So this was done for one of our German customers. Let me start ticket creation. So here, this customer wanted to have a radio button group here at the bottom, some custom drop-down menus, and in fact, these control what kind of ticket is created. I believe these are populating some custom fields as well in ServiceNow. These two create incidents. Another one creates possibly a service request. Let's check another one like this one. This was done for the largest steel manufacturer in the world. They wanted to have the urgency in here, some custom values for this application service that they have, and they wanted to have a requested for field. So users can create tickets on behalf of other users. So really what I just want to show is that you can really do anything here. Which one to take? This one. This is also interesting. Oops, let me. Not sure what's happening with my mouse, but I hope now this is going to be active. Yeah, so again here, this customer wanted to have a radio button group, some links to their intranet portal, a special checkbox for one of their custom fields in ServiceNow. And I'm sure that here, if you select this one, then it creates a service request. Otherwise, it creates an incident. Okay, so let me reactivate the standard ServiceNow interface. And I think we also need this one. Okay, so now I'll log off from here, go back here, and start another transaction. Here we have a short dump, another classic example. And now I will create another ticket and also show you that it's possible to create tickets from the same system in different ITSM tools. You can create any number of custom menu items here. For example, now I want to create a Jira incident, so I press this menu item. Okay, I can take a screenshot, that's fine. Dump test 1. Here we have now Jira specific fields. I'll take this checkbox and press send. Okay, so here we have our Jira instance, and now the ticket is created in Jira. Excellent. You have the same attachments. You can also do categorization routing. We have a custom label here. You can specify the issue type and so on. End user is set to the portal here and so on. You have the same attachment, and let me show you this one. Another classic example, we attach the complete short dump as an HTML file. It's not only a screenshot of the very top, it's the whole thing. You can copy paste from this because this is HTML. And another interesting thing is that this is in the language that you specify. If you have users logging in Chinese, Finnish, Hungarian, whatever language, and have a short dump, you can still specify in configuration the language in which all the attachments will be generated. So you can still have an English short dump going to your service desk teams. If they only speak English, it doesn't make sense to send it in Chinese. Okay, let me jump back to this transaction, and let's say, okay, I'm the next guy. I execute the same report. I get the same short dump. So I proceed with the same action, create a ticket in Jira. Okay. And now a different screen is displayed. You can configure the program to monitor a specified time period, which is 8 hours now, and it will notify end users about similar tickets that were submitted from the same screen, from the same transaction, same report, or if it's a short dump, then if it's short, the same short dump at the same source code position, then it's considered as a related ticket. And now, based on the short description and the long description, the end user can make an educated guess if it's really the same error or not. Of course, if it's the same short dump, it's going to be the same error. But let's say if you submit a ticket from FB50, you might have multiple issues in the same transaction. In that case, you create a new ticket and then everything goes as you've already seen. However, if it's the same issue, then you can press another button called link ticket. Yes, I want to use this as a reference. Dump test 2. Let's open it. And let's see what happens. The program can automatically create a parent-child relationship between the issues. So now you can see that this is the duplicate of the previous one. Even if I refresh the previous one, then you can see that here is the duplication. The same goes for ServiceNow. Let me go back to the incident. If you do the same with ServiceNow, then you will have all the child incidents listed here. Even if you have 1,000 incidents, only one will be the parent and you will have 999 child incidents. It's much more transparent, much easier to close everything at once. All right, let me jump to the next example. So I will execute transaction Miro, where I want to enter an incoming invoice. Excellent. Here we have 500 euros that I'm going to change to 600 euros. So because of this, I get a message that the price is too high, the tolerance limit is exceeded. Let's say that I'm an expert SAP user. I know that this is not correct, something is misconfigured. I want to report this error. So let me create the ticket. I allow the program to take a screenshot. And now another section will be displayed at the bottom part of the screen, where you can see relevant knowledge base articles. By default, when you launch the program for the first time in the transaction, it uses the transaction code as the filter criteria. So that's why you can see Miro in all the descriptions of the articles. If you're a bit more specific, enter something like tolerance limit in this example, and another search is carried out, and now you can see exactly one knowledge base article. Based on the short description, this seems relevant, so I double click. The article is displayed in a browser window where I can verify that, yes, this is exactly my issue, and now I have the solution. So when I jump back to SAP, I don't create a ticket. I can solve the issue myself, I press cancel, and everybody's happy. Okay, let's continue with the next one. Let's check the chat. Okay, these are just questions, not around issues. So for this, I will log into the same system with another user. I execute transaction VA0510, where I want to get sales documents for this sales organization 3,000, and I want only the open ones. I press execute, and then I'm surprised that there are no documents found. Let's say my colleagues can see the documents. I'm sure that there are documents, so I submit a ticket. Here in this example, I want to show you the key user model that is implemented or can be implemented by this add-on. You can choose to let all your users submit tickets in ServiceNow or only key users. In this case, this user is a simple end user. So if I press send, I cannot create a ticket in ServiceNow directly. Let's say no. Here you have a drop down where you can select key user. You can configure the business logic, how this drop down is populated. This can be dependent on the transaction. So if you're in a material management screen, then you have different key users here than on a finance screen and so on. I will now pick my user, enter some comments. Also, you can see that now the default solman group is set to SAP sales and distribution because VA05N belongs to that. So I just press send. And now you can see that a ticket is not created in ServiceNow. The same attachments are generated and so on. And the key user is notified about this. Here is the message. Ticket was sent to the key user. So I leave this one, come back to this one. I think All I need to do is to hit enter, and I can even get an Express document. Of course, regular emails can be sent to end users as well, but I didn't want to hassle that for the webinar. Now I get a message, or basically an email from the end user that there's a problem. Here you have the same attachments, the PDF, the screen contents. Let me show the screen contents because it's cool. It also adds the selection criteria. This is a classic report with a selection screen and a result list, and you will know exactly that, hey, this guy was looking for sales documents for sales organization 3000, and the open sales or the checkbox was checked. So you know how to reproduce the problem. The other interesting attachment here is the authorization report. Now you'll see that here we have the exact output of the standard SU53 transaction. You can see that this user wanted to perform a display activity on data belonging to this sales organization, but if you scroll down, you can see that in the user master, this user can only have does have only access to sales organization 1000. So actually, we just attached the solution to the problem, where are we? Oh, sorry, we're in SAP. So based on this information, the key user can make an educated guess if this is just a user mistake, and then just reply that, hey, you have to do something else, or create a ticket in ServiceNow. We have a dedicated transaction for key users where you can check out all the details of the ticket. And if you found that this is a problem, a real problem, then you can create a ticket. Otherwise, you can reject this if it's just a training issue. So let me send this to ServiceNow. Of course, you have the same input from the end user, but now you can add extra comments. You can even change the assignment group. It completely makes sense. Although this is from an SD transaction, this is absolutely a security issue. So now I press send, and then the incident is created with all the updated data. Here we have the success message. Let's go back to ServiceNow, check out the incident, no documents found, and here it's now in the SAP security team. And another important thing is that the caller is set to the end user, but it was opened by the key user. Okay, let's continue with the next one. Sorry, guys, I'll have to really hurry because we have a lot of things to show and only 60 minutes. So I will log into Fiori Launchpad and show you how you can do the same thing from Fiori. Here we have an extra button that allows you to create a ticket. Let me launch Fiori app. Okay, so if you have an issue here, then you press this button and you get a similar screen. You have to populate subject, description, and you have some extra attachments added by default. You can add any attachment with this button or paste image from clipboard. So this little screen explains you how you can add screenshots, really simple. Put it on the clipboard and paste it. So I press save, that will hide the main window. And now I press print screen, come back here, press Ctrl V, and here we have the screenshot. We can repeat this as many times as we want. So if this is also important, then I take another screenshot, come back here, paste it, and now we have two screenshots. So if I press submit, then again, the backend components creates the ticket in ServiceNow or Jira, Remedy, or whatever, Micro Focus. And once it's ready, it offers you to open it. So let me click, and here we go. Here we have both screenshots. We have Fiori specific attachments like the console entries, for example, that you get in the browser are attached for Fiori tickets. And let's check this incident from here. For example, you can also assign this to a specific Fiori assignment group. It's not necessarily that you just did it for the demo. You can still assign Fiori tickets based on the application component of the Fiori app. And now let's scroll down and check out the technical details. Here we have a Fiori specific tab. where you have the form factor, if it was mobile, tablet, desktop, application type, title, name, version numbers, URLs, platform, browser, user agent, the theme that was used. If you use S4HANA, for example, then you have the app ID, you exactly know which app is running and so on. So you can get some specific Fiori information with your tickets as well. You might notice that here you have other sheets. So if you create a ticket from a BSP application, then you have BSP technical details, WebDim Pro technical details. You can even create ServiceNow tickets out of barcode scanners. If you're using warehouse management or extended warehouse management, you're on the floor, you scan a barcode and there's an error, just press a key combination on your barcode scanner, enter the basic details or choose a template, and then everything is populated here automatically. All right. Okay, excellent. So I think that was that I wanted to show around the first use case when the end users have the issues. And then, where was I? Yeah, here. Let's continue with some slides. I've shown you how Jira tickets can be created. I have some screenshots for BMC remedy as well. Here you have all the same attachments, automatic categorization, routing, the same for Micro Focus Service Manager, and finally, Manage Engine Service Desk Plus. So let's start with the second part. Before that, I'd like to talk about the monitoring scenarios. So if you use Solution Manager or Focus Run to monitor your systems or anything else, iDocs, business processes or whatever, then you might want to connect that with ServiceNow Incident Management. So that means that whenever a new alert is created, our add-on can create a new incident. The typical life cycle is that you work on the incident and then resolve it, and then the ServiceNow app that we have can automatically confirm the alert that is related to that incident. Of course, you can have this canceled at any time. I didn't want to overcomplicate this slide. That can, of course, also close the alert. And also from the other side, if the alert is confirmed either manually or automatically, that can also close or resolve the incident, and sooner or later it will be closed. So if you press the button on the alert inbox and confirm, that's going to close the incident. Or if, let's say, you get a green alert, CPU was very high, CPU usage, and it created an alert and then an incident. If the CPU usage goes back to normal and it turns the alert to a green alert, it can also close the incident automatically. So let's check what happens if you use event management for ServiceNow. In that case, when you have a new alert in Focus Run or Solution Manager, then you have a new event generated. And from there, everything is standard ServiceNow. So whatever logic you have to create alerts out of events will be triggered. You might have an open alert. Sooner or later, that's going to be closed, and there are some other statuses as well. And that can also confirm the alert. The same goes with the other direction. So if the alert is confirmed, then technically another event is raised with a specific status. And then it's ServiceNow, which is going to handle the closing of related alerts. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Let me go first into here. I think I have to refresh because I was logged out, most likely. So here's the alert inbox with some alerts that we have. And now I will log into, log out of this. And I will log into the Solution Manager system. Not with this one, but with this one. Go to the monitoring and alerting settings. Go to change mode. And here you can see that we have now 3 scenarios set up. Monitoring connected with Jira, ServiceNow, Incident Management, and ServiceNow Event Management. So now I will activate this one and also activate this to create the tickets automatically. Because it's not necessary, you can also create tickets manually from the alert inbox if you want, but now I will just activate this with automatic ticket creation. I will look for some Java instance related error Yeah, okay, Java system not available. So that's something that I will now close, and that usually comes back in a minute. We have deliberately turned off that instance, so soon we will have a new alert here. While that's happening, I'll jump in here and show you some examples of configurations. So for example, let's select this one. You can do some field mapping to map impacts and urgencies based on different alert attributes. So for example, if this is a simple one. If the rating is red, then we should have urgency 1, impact 1. You can do this based on priority if you want, or severity. It's really up to you. And you can also combine these values. And it's not necessary to only set urgency and impact. You can route it to a different assignment group if it's red, or I don't know. Only imagination is the limit, and of course your business requirements. The other interesting one is the default values, where you can set up rules like the default assignment group. So if it's BI monitoring, then this should go to the basis team or the business warehouse team. If it's technical monitoring or job monitoring or whatever monitoring, it can go to a specific assignment group. Or again, you can set some key value pairs to set any ServiceNow field. And you can do this based on the managed object type. So for maybe databases, you want to go to the database team. For, I don't know, whatever else, then you route it to something else. Also, you can do this based on category. So I think now we should already have a new Java related alerts. I'm just not sure which one. Okay, not this one. Central service instance. No. Have I refreshed? Okay, let's jump into ServiceNow. Okay, here it is. Java system not available. It's the other one. Okay, so this is the incident that was just created based on the solution manager alert. Let me find it. I will get it sooner or later. Yeah, Java system not available. This one. And here you can see that it's set to externally processed. Here we have a comment. Here we have a link. You can click on that, and it will open in Internet Explorer. So it will take a lot of time to open. But anyway, here you have the ticket information on solution manager side, and here you have the ticket itself. We attach the same HTML attachment that solution manager generates. So here you have all the details of the metrics and so on. You have direct links to the alerts, to the system, and so on. It's very convenient. Here is everything is categorized again. You have all the fields populated exactly as you want. Here you have the description in the note as well, but now I will jump to the technical details tab, where we have the alert details. So this is specific to solution manager and focused on alert related information. And here at the bottom, you also have the my details, the other details, event, and the underlying metric. So everything is saved to ServiceNow. Really cool. So let's go back to the incident. You can see the state is new, but now I will confirm test, false alert, software, press yes, and then jump back here. And this should update the incident. Yep, it is. It's resolved. And also in the closure information, you get all the details, the category, the classification, all the comments, a wonderfully formatted timestamp, confirmed by, and the confirm actions manual. If the alert is confirmed because it turns green, then you will have an automatic based on a green alert. So this is one way. Let me show you the other way. Oh, by the way, I just forgot to create another one. Okay, let me create a new one. Okay, let's choose backup status. Choose this one. These are alerts created earlier. I press the create ticket button. This will perform a manual ticket creation. So you can specify what alerts you want to forward to ServiceNow Solution Manager. That's pretty standard. You can assign our connector to a default template or per managed object or other type or whatever. But there might be cases when you don't always want to forward, but maybe sometimes. And this is sometime. I just press this button. So now we have this incident ends with 61. Let's pick that one. Which one? Backup? Oh, this is another one. This is backup status. No, this is again a wrong alert. Just don't confuse myself. No, SMJ. Yeah, here we go. 63 SMJ. Excellent. So now if I log in here and check this HTML file, I'll go to the alert details. That's pretty convenient. And now if I go back here and set this to resolved and add some closure information, solved, and then press save, then this is going to close the solution manager alert. Here we have a success message with a nice unique identifier. And now if I go back to the alert details and press refresh, we should have this gone because it was confirmed. So this is bidirectional synchronization of incidents that are related to solution manager alerts. Okay, excellent. Let me change the configuration. So now I will deactivate the incident and activate the event management integration. And now I press save. I go back to my alert inbox just to make sure I just confirm everything. And then in a few minutes, we'll have a lot of new alerts being triggered. And now these will be going to ServiceNow Event Management. Meanwhile, maybe I can show you some things related to event management. You can configure how configuration items are mapped. For event management, you can specify any configuration item field in ServiceNow. That's going to be the basis of mapping the CI. And you can define that ServiceNow field here. It's going to be the IP address. Also, there are a lot of information captured by an add-on, and you can use any field out of that and put it into that specific ServiceNow field. So now we pick this IP address of the SAP instance, and we'll put it into the specified field when we create the ticket in ServiceNow. And also you can specify the CMDB, the configuration item class in ServiceNow. So based on this information, it's going to create the events, and the automatic CI mapping will be triggered in ServiceNow. So let's check if we already have something here. Cool, Java system is still down. And here you have now the alerts are created in here, and you can jump to the alert. Let's go, however, to the events. Because actually the events that are created, like this one. And then based on this information, ServiceNow is going to decide if an alert is created or updated or nothing happens, and so on. And this is the alert that was generated. Additionally, here you have a little log about the processing node. So you can see that we just passed the IP address in this field and it found a CI. So if I go to the alert, then you can see that the CI field is populated. Here it is. Okay, excellent. Let's jump to focused run. I have a tab sheet here. This is focused run, which is a wonderful new product of SAP, which also has a monitoring module, which I already have open. So I've just picked one alert. Let's refresh. And here you can either manually or automatically forward this to ServiceNow. So if you press trigger alert reaction, you choose the ITSM connector for SAP, and that's it. After a few seconds, you get a notification that it was created. Excellent. Let's go to ServiceNow. And then here we have a focused run alert in ServiceNow. Again, all the configuration, mapping, assignment group, everything is here. Here you have the attachment that is generated by focused run. You can jump directly to the alert from here as well. If we check out the technical details, then here we have focused run specific fields populated. So that's it. Pretty easy. And of course, you can also automate this. So if you go to the settings, default outbound integrations, then you can edit. Now nothing is assigned as a default, but here per monitoring use case, you can select our add-on as the default connector, so that will in fact create all the incidents or events automatically. All right, let's jump back to the slides. We still have a few minutes left, so let's check out the pain points again that are actually solved. So the first problem is solved by the automated data collection. You will have all the data that you need immediately. Routing and categorization is done automatically based on the rules that you define. Duplicate incident management can be enhanced with automatic parent-child relationship creation. You can embed a knowledge base in SAP so you can better utilize your existing knowledge base. You can use the key user concept and let only your key users create tickets in ServiceNow. And you can automate the incident or event creation for monitoring solutions of SAP. Here we have another added value matrix. Basically, we have the features on the left, benefits on the right, and all the involved parties in between. Obviously, the quick ticket creation is good for the end users. They can save time. The automated data collection and the extra attachments will help everybody in the process and result in a faster ticket resolution, less system downtime. The embedded knowledge-based search helps end users. They can very often get solutions quicker for themselves and helps the service desk because they will get less tickets. The duplicate management is also good for them. They have better transparency and more efficient handling of duplicates. Automatic categorization and routing, again, mostly good for the service desk teams. The key user concept helps end users and service desk teams. So many of the problems can be solved much faster and you don't have to create tickets for that. The automatic reaction to alerts is mostly beneficial for the basis teams and results in huge time savings. Another interesting part, if you have an issue in a standard SAP program and create an OSS message, create a ticket in the central SAP support portal, and attach the same attachments, SAP will also have all that extra information. So you can expect faster support from SAP as well. Additionally, the SAP incident dashboard and ServiceNow help management to better plan the support resources, identify gaps, bottlenecks, and so on. Let's jump to the case studies. We've made one with a pharma company based in Hungary. They compare their incidents that were created through the portal, email, and phone call to the ones that were created through our add-on. And they experienced a 28% decrease in average ticket resolution time, which led to a 12% decrease in the number of tickets with an SLA breach. And one major contributing factor to this was a 91% decrease in the number of transfers of incidents between support groups. They could very simply set up a rule set in SAP that based on transaction code or module, everything is routed to the relevant support group. The next one is Celsa Group, a steel manufacturer based in Spain. They spare about 50,000 euros every year related to SAP ticket resolution, and they experience a 10 to 45% ticket resolution time acceleration based on the season, holidays, projects, and general load. And the last one is a big system downtime at a global manufacturing company. There was a runtime error in the production system due to a bug in an ABAP program, and this was controlling the production lines, and that stopped for the whole plant. They were not able to manufacture products for 1 hour. They lost €500,000 in that 1 hour. And if you apply that average resolution time, that the 28% decrease, then you can see that you can save a lot with one single occurrence of a production system issue. Let's talk about implementation. This works with the ABAP add-on works with any system running on the ABAP stack, starting from basis release 7.0.0 up to the latest S4HANA 2020. It can also be operated on S4HANA Cloud, the private edition. This is delivered using a certified SAP add-on. You can install it using Transaction Saint. All objects are in our namespace, and the installation is really, really very simple and quick. It can be done in 1 hour, in fact. The ServiceNow app is even easier to install. You just go to the ServiceNow store, log in, press install, you select which instances, and that's it. You need to create a technical user, assign some roles, and you're done. If you want to customize the solution, you remember I showed you some customization option on the SAP screen. You can modify, have extra fields at the bottom part of our pop-up, or remove things, or have extra business logic. We can do it as a consulting service. Usually that's between 1 and 5 days. Okay, let's talk about the roadmap. We want to do the same thing for testing. Basically, if you're doing manual testing in SAP and if it's successful, you want to submit a proof of the successful test. If it fails, you want to submit a failure, and then we want to do an integration to some of the leading testing software, Solution Manager, Test Suite, Micro Focus, and ServiceNow Test Management. The next is we want to support more and more new products of cloud-based products of SAP, like SuccessFactors. And the plan is that whatever can be run in a Fiori Launchpad is going to be supported. And the last one is the most exciting. We want to have compatibility with the next generation SAP solutions. So next one would be Cloud ALM. I'm not sure if you've heard about it. It's the new thing from SAP. In one sentence, it's a cloud-based solution manager system, which is very easy to operate and cost-effective. And it also has a monitoring module. So we'll have the same kind of compatibility with that as soon as SAP opens up that solution for extensibility by partners. It's on their roadmap for later this year or next year. And whenever that's open for partners, we'll be the first one to do that. And also SAP is coming up with something called a built-in support, which is basically Fiori edition. On the right side on your screen, you will have a little assistant bar where you can get help from SAP experts. You can create tickets, you can search the knowledge base, and so on. And if SAP opens up this for extensibility for SAP partners, again, we'll immediately look into that and try to add extra value. All right. Before the questions and answers section, which will be pretty short, unfortunately, the next steps that you can make is we're happy to organize a personal demo for you and your team. You can also have a free trial in your SAP landscape, meaning we deliver the fully functional product. We help you to install it free of charge. And once it's installed, you can use it for 30 days and test it. And as many of them are in the audience are from service provider and partner companies, we are really happy to engage into a partnership. We're looking for distributors all around the world. So if this is something interesting for you, then please get in touch.